Huangpu Park 100 to 150 years ago. This whole area was owned by British. So this place had a plaque before says, "No admittance for Chinese and dogs." This is a very big insult for Chinese people. And now it's run by government. You can see there's a Russian-style statue, means the hero from the people who died in the war. And this is a public park for all of these senior citizens living nearby, all the visitors. And then we will go from here up to the Bund. Standing on the Shanghai Bund, and what you see here, the river, it's called Huangpu River, which is the famous mother river of Shanghai. But you can take a look from my hand side. That's where the river starts from the Yangtze. So if you take a boat from here, about 1 hour, you will see the water from the Yangtze, and the river joins together, flow to East China Sea. So where you can see the heavy crane machines over there and the suspension bridge, that's the direction for the ocean and the Yangtze River. And the whole river of Huangpu, the length is about 114 kilometers. So it flows the whole way down into the deep inside of Shanghai. And it cuts the bank of Shanghai into two parts. So now we're standing on the western side, where we mean the Bund. And the Bund is a German word, which is a name that British gave to people in Shanghai during about 1900. And when they were here from 1840, there was nothing here except the muddy and sandy land. So since in these so many years, many things happened, but we still keep the buildings from the British time. So in the Bund, we can have such a strong comparison on both sides of the banks. So now you can take a look. This is the old city left from 100 to 150 years ago. And the most famous building, it's the building with a clock. You see the clock building? That's named the Shanghai Custom House. And there's a building in front of the clock with a dome. That's very famous in Hong Kong, named Hong Kong Shanghai Bank Building. But that was originally, now it's used by the government for the Pudong Development Bank. Then another building very famous among Americans should be the one with the green top. This green top building was a Jewish building built by Sassoon, who was a Jewish British in Shanghai during 1900. And this building was invested by him, and now it's changed to be the Peace Hotel. So the Peace Hotel is the beginning of the Nanjing Road. So all the buildings you see from your right hand, it's all left from history. They look old and traditionally in the European style. That's why it attracts people to be in Shanghai, because the people think it's so interesting to see the Western style buildings but standing in Chinese land. Okay, so let's take a look at the new side. This is the new side of the city, which is called Pudong Development Zone. And you can see this is very much like a space city with all the skyscrapers appeared in less than 11 years. So you can imagine if you were here 11 years ago, there was no building over there except rice paddies and bean fields, no roads either. And in the 11 years, we got this TV tower, which is the tallest TV tower in Asia, but the third tallest in the world. We call this one Oriental Pearl TV Tower. And the next one, there's a pencil-thin building that's called Grand Hyatt Hotel. And from the middle to the top, that's where the Grand Hyatt stays. And on the topmost floor, which is 87th floor, there's a bar named Cloud 9. So, among these buildings, there are others look like the pillow, look like the triangle, connecting with each other. These are all the banks and insurance companies. So in Shanghai, we call that area the Wall Street area with all the financial and insurance companies. And now you can see there's a building nearby the TV tower with a square in the middle and two side bar, look like the globe. This is the famous convention center in Shanghai called International Convention Center. That's where the most important conferences held in Shanghai, like the APEC in this year, October. And also, this building was built because of the Fortune Forum. from 1999. So basically speaking, this one was actually invested by the government, but because of Bill Gates, we built this one. Then the next one, there's a kind of seagull-looking building. That's the dock for cruise. So you can take the boat from the other side, have a cruise on the Huangpu River, you know. And you see the river cuts the bank into two sides. So in Shanghai, we do have very similar location like Hong Kong. And in the 1900, which is the Opium War time, here was the British concession, which means it was occupied by British people. And you can take a look at the advertisement place. That was occupied by American. So that was the former American concession. And later, the American and British, they joined together, becomes to be the international settlement. So about 100 years ago, the whole area here not belonged to Chinese people at all, you know. So now the Bund starts from this green color renovation stuff to the pyramid on the other side. So the whole length of the Bund is about 1,400 meters long. The water transportation is very cheap, so you can see most of the boats have the heavy wood or maybe sand or cement. See, there's a kind of glass building which is called the Bund Sightseeing Tunnel. So this is a tunnel that it should be the 4th tunnel of Shanghai already, and that's mainly for the pedestrians. So you can take a little thing like a cable car, and the car will take you slowly through the tunnel to the other side of the city nearby the TV tower. So except for this TV sightseeing tunnel, we do have other traffic tunnels. So in Shanghai, you can find actually 4 tunnels underground, and you can find one subway, and you can find 4 suspension bridges. And also, we still have the ferry boat available. So in Shanghai, actually crossing the river will never be a problem anymore. A lot of people are confused about this statue. Actually, he looks pretty much like the great person from China named Chen Mao. But in fact, he's not Chen Mao. He's the first mayor of Shanghai named Chen Yi. So you can take a look. He's facing the downtown side, and he's having the same pose as Chen Mao. So we call this little space the Chen Yi Square. And a lot of times in the festivals, we will have some performance like singing or dancing on the square. The world's largest shopping center in Shanghai. It's called a kind of Golden Lion shopping mall. 是吧？照相过来看看来。These two buildings are what we call the sister buildings of Shanghai. And this building has a clock on the top. So many British, when they came here, they said it's very much like Liverpool or London's building. And this is the custom house of Shanghai. And since this was built in Shanghai, it's always the custom house. Then the next one one with a dome, this building was the former Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, HSBC. And after the liberation, we made that one to be the Shanghai City Hall. And later, we changed that one to be the Shanghai Stock Exchange Market Building. So we have a joke, kind of kidding saying in Shanghai, if you make money in the stock market, you spend it in the bar next to the stock market building. But if you lose money from the stock, you jump into the river. Is about 1,400 meters, which is about a mile in American or British measurement. This is the one of the busiest street for traffic in Shanghai called Zhongshan Road. So in order to help the traffic, we have all those pedestrian underpass. So we will now go by the underpass to get across the street to go to the Nanjing Road.